Hi everybody, Dan Illman, Matt Bernier, Sunday's co-feature at Saratoga, race number 9. It's the Grade 3 Waya, going 1.5 miles on the inner turf for fillies and mares. Want to remind everybody that the Weekend Warrior Bonus Series is still in effect for DRF Bets members. Bet $25 on one horse to win at race number 1 at Saratoga and or Del Mar each Saturday and Sunday throughout the meet, through DRF Bets, of course. Get a $10 bonus, win or lose. You can accrue up to 180 bonus points throughout the Saratoga and Del Mar meetings. Here's the field for the rescheduled Waya. We had to wait 8 days for the Waya due to all that rain last week. Interesting field in here, Matt. The number 3 Santa Monica is the 8-5 morning line favorite for Chad Brown, coming off a triple-digit Beyer speed figure victory in the Grade 2 Dance Smartly. She beat 2 next out winners that day, but I thought she got a good setup.
Yeah, and really that's kind of what this race to me anyway boils down to, where she got the setup in that Dance Smartly most recently. I'm not convinced she's going to get such a cushy setup this time around. I don't think there's nearly as much speed signed on. And realistically, maybe there's a scenario where she's just simply better than everyone else, but at what's going to be a short price, maybe not getting the setup that she needs. There are just a couple of questions to me that look at it and say, you know what, I don't need her at 8 or 9 to 5.
She's Chad's proven commodity. The one with the upside trained by Brown is the 4 Homeland Security, who has won 2 out of her last 3 races. I thought she got a nice little trip in the River Memories last time out when stretched out to 1.5 miles. Was able to save ground most of the way, eased out turning for home, and was a solid winner over a couple of these. She's yet to buy her 90, but she's only raced 6 times. Again, she's got that upside.
Yeah, and really, I was going to bring up the figure piece as well, because she has not eclipsed 90 yet, and you would imagine she's going to need to run faster, but it's so difficult to gauge with a lightly raced horse at these longer distances. If all of a sudden she runs a good race here on Sunday afternoon, she's probably going to be in that mid-90 range, so I'm not too concerned about that. Second off the bench for Chad, this is a positive move. Rad stays aboard here. To me, I kind of am more interested in her, but to be honest with you, and this probably sounds stupid because it's Chad and a grade stake on turf, I don't really want either one of them.
Let's take a look at the Timeform US pace projector, because the number 6 Tricky Escape seems versatile. I don't expect this pace to be fast at all. There really aren't any proven speeds. Tricky Escape has been more than 5 lengths off the lead at the first call in her last 3 races, and we've got her sitting second here in the pace projector. They can't be going fast. Visually, she was super impressive last time out at Delaware when stretched out to 11 furlongs. It was a beautiful ride by Krista Carlo, who was able to grab an inside position passing the stands the first time. Everything worked out after that. It was basically hands and heels handling in the stretch, although I didn't like the way she was drifting out several paths while whipping a weak field.
I think that last piece that you brought up, that to me is kind of the key for her. I don't think she beat a heck of a lot in there, but boy, you couldn't ask her to do it any better. The way that she looked anyway, visually, sure, maybe she got a little drifty toward the end, but she put the boots to that field. If you think she's able to replicate that effort here on Sunday, she certainly has a big chance, but at the same time, I'm kind of dubious, is she going to be able to replicate that against better?
European entrant, the number 7 Queen of Connaught, is a 3-year-old filly taking on Elders. This is sort of a handicapper over there. Really hasn't faced the best of the best. In her most recent start, she finished directly behind a horse that came back to run second against listed runners. No Lasix here, but you are getting Javier Castellano. It kind of seems like a tough spot, even though we must always respect these Euros.
It's such a tough thing because I agree with you. At face value, there's really not a lot to like here. She looks like she's probably a bit overmatched. When you look at the Timeform ratings that she's earned over in Europe, she's just not fast enough to run with these girls. But at the same time, we have seen horses with suspect form over there come over here and absolutely flourish. So, look, I don't love her in here, but I wouldn't be surprised at all if she ran well. If Javier's intrigued enough, that's something to keep an eye on.
I wonder if the number 1 Lottie is going to be a lot closer than where we have her on the Timeform US pace projector. I mean, she's next to last on the projector, but she at least showed prompting ability last time out in a slow-paced Sheepshead Bay, a race in which she finished ahead of Santa Monica. Now, she had a sweeter trip than Santa Monica. She was up close to that pace. She got the jump on Santa Monica, and she was able to hold her off. I have a feeling Edgar Prado knows that he could be aggressive with this mare.
I'm probably going to put her in the winner's circle right now by saying this. Lottie is Lottie. She's 7 times second or third. She's only won on 2 occasions. It seems like whenever Graham Motion has tested her, she hasn't been able to get over the hump. She comes with a decent enough effort, and I think that's why if you're playing any sort of an exotic wager, you have to consider including her underneath. But from a win standpoint, she's about as hard to trust as any horse in this race. And like I said, I probably just put her in the winner's circle.
Somersault might have been best in this race last year. My formulator trip notes have in traffic stretch, change back to wrong lead when altering off heels in mid-stretch. She was only beaten 3/4 of a length. Unfortunately for Somersault, that's sort of been the story of her career. If there's trouble to be found, she's going to find it. Last time out, though, behind Homeland Security, maybe she was compromised by the pace just a little bit. She's rock solid.
She's rock solid, but again, like you said, she's another one. She's just very difficult to trust in a spot like this. Maybe second off the bench for Henning, she's ready to go. You do have a victory for her 3 starts back down at Gulfstream, which is more than you can say for some of these other girls. But again, she's Somersault. I'm imagining she's going to find some sort of problem.
Let's take a look at our top selections for the Grade 3 Waya. You like the 5 Moms on Strike, who really asserted herself at this distance, or 2 starts back in the Grade 3 Bewitch, where she beat a good filly in Daddy's Little Darling. They cut her back in the New York, a salty edition of the New York that's produced 3 next out winners, including 102 Buyer Grade 1 winner Sister Charlie and the aforementioned Daddy's Little Darling. And Moms on Strike just simply got outrun in a weird race in the New York. At 1.5 miles, if she can stay close, and Timeform US has her, I believe, 3rd on the pace projector, she's got a big chance.
Yeah, distance-wise, not really a concern for me. And really, we've talked about it so many times in the past. With these horses that are decent at middle distances against better horses, when you stretch them out, they take their game to the next level. I look at that New York and say, she ran against 4-star Crook, she ran against Sister Charlie, she ran against Daddy's Little Darling, she beat Daddy's Little Darling 2 starts back. I think she's the class of the field. I don't think the distance is a problem, and you're right. If she can stay relatively close, I think she's got a big, big chance.
I want a glacial pace in here. Savannah Bell is class challenged, to be sure. Her most recent win came against condition claimers at Aqueduct. But it is interesting that she has picked up her game since being stretched out to 10 and then 12 furlongs. Interesting because she's by a pure sprint stallion and Discreetly Mine. I thought she ran well in the River Memories. We're at 27-1 and the rank outsider in that field. She just brushed to the lead on the backstretch under Jose Ortiz. It was a really interesting move for Jose to try to take over the pace, and she fought Homeland Security all the way down to the wire. If she's able to relax on the lead from start to finish, maybe she can go one better. And best of all, she's 20-1 on the morning line. I'll take a flyer with Savannah Bell to try to wire this field, but I would have to spread. I'm going 2, 3, 5, and 1.
Going 5, 6, 3, 1 in here. I agree with you. With the lack of pace in here, and perhaps Savannah Bell can get out there and get brave on the front end. The lack of pace makes this race, I think, much more difficult because it really is probably going to come down to a sprint for that final 1/4 mile, and it's really who can finish the fastest of them all.
Pace may make the race in the Waya. If not, the 2 best horses are Moms on Strike and Santa Monica, but we'll see if Savannah Bell can take them a long way on the lead at a giant price. Again, if you are playing the Weekend Warrior Bonus Series, you still got time, DRF Bets members. Bet $25 on 1 horse to win on race number 1 at Saratoga and or Del Mar each Saturday and Sunday of the meet. Get a $10 bonus whether your selection wins or loses. You can accrue up to 180 bonus points. Learn more at DRF.com. Approximate post time for the Grade 3 Waya, race number 9 at Saratoga on Sunday, 5:40 Eastern. Best of luck.